is a wheelie good. Wheelie. What up YouTube? Welcome back to another video. Today we're carrying on with the old gear motors for the robotings, and we're going to be attaching these, which are wheels. I don't know what brand they are, they're just some generic ones I bought from a local DIY store, to this to accomplish this in the most bodge way ever. Like just have a look at this. So what I use for this project is you're going to need a screwdriver, a random piece of tube. This is came out of one of my mom's pen sets or something ridiculous. It was something like that. Obviously the wheel, a washer, and your motor with your reverse thread screw, and most importantly, fucking big cup of tea. So what you want to start off doing, or this is what I did anyway, I'm not saying this is a good idea, disclaimer, right, this is probably not the best way of mounting your wheels, but I'd already bought these and I couldn't be asked to go and buy. My phone is on, hung on. So what I did first, I took the label off, that's what I did first, hang on, lol. I measured just the inside of there, but not sort of across, like the actual depth of it. So I use these things, will save your life, and they're not very expensive, calipers, and normally you'd use them obviously just like that, blah 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 blah. But in this case there's a little depth gauge on the bottom, so I just literally went straight down like that, measured it, and that's saying 22, well 22.22, but 22 is close enough for me. So what you want to do is cut your tubings at 22. So I'll go do that and I'll be back in a sec. So here we are over at the vise. Literally all I'm going to do is just clamp that gently and just measure down here 22, which is about there. So where's the saw? The saw. I'm just gonna use it. I'm not recommending that's a good idea. We're just marking it like that. So there's the mark there. Just doesn't need to be exact. It's just roughly the wheel. That was probably horrible sounding. I'm very sorry. So got your dropping stuff. Got your piece of stuff, so let's bounce back over to the table. I hope you can see that okay. But that's the resulting cut. So what we want to do now is literally just, and be careful because this is bleeding sharp, like you can already see a plaster. Incidentally, that was me being idiotic, though that's a different thing altogether. And you just cut down, all the way down to the bottom, because this isn't the right size to fit in the wheel, it won't fit. So we're just going to be cutting down there. So I'm going to try and show it, but I don't want to cut my finger at the same time because I would get shot by many people. Yeah, I'm just going to do it this way because it's a little bit tricky. Like there. And then just cut a tiny wincy little bit off. Just shave a little bit off. All the way down. Like that. Because this means it's just, it'll close a tiny bit. I'm not even in the camera. It'll close a tiny bit smaller. And this is what you'll fit on the end of here. Seems very odd to be tightening, to be undoing something, but basically this will fit just over there like that, and it should be See how that fits in there. It should be, that's actually perfect. I didn't actually perfect both sides, but it fits just inside there. No, I can't get it out. Just, that's what she said apparently. She never said it to me. Right, so I'm going to put that on the end of there. And then, like, at this point, I would like normally recommend, like people online recommend like mounting a nut or a coupler into there, the right thread to match that. But I found this method seems to hold it really well, considering I didn't expect it to hold it as well as it does. So it's actually what we're going to do is just slide that over the top of there, because you've got a bit of leeway, and then literally make sure that's on there, and just slide it onto the straight as you can. It's very tough. Once it gets past sort of this point, it starts getting really, really tough. But we'll just keep doing this, and what I recommend is just putting it down, keeping it as straight as possible, and just wailing on the thing. And we're almost at the bottom actually on that one, and you can see that that's already strong enough to turn the motor, which is good, which is what we want. And I found just to get that last bit of a tiny bit of a gap there, I have no idea what I'm doing here, is hopefully this is pretty straight as well. It should be, because it's straight all along. But I'm not too worried, being as it's mainly going to be testing in sort of trial and error to begin with anyway. Where's my handy dandy friend? This, I just use this bit of nylon piece of wood because it's fairly heavy and it shouldn't damage this too much. So then just knock it on so it's all left on there. Perfect, and that's fairly flush there. That's on all the way. It's not turning when you turn the motor. The actual motor's turning, which is what you want. And there we go. That's mainly the wheel on. The other thing you need to do now is get your washer, which is probably underneath what I've just... Once you have found your washer, basically that's just going to sit over the top of there. And incidentally, these are actually just perfect to... And obviously try and get as close as possible, but it's not imperative. But that's perfect to fit there, and then that screw just goes back in, screws back and tightens back up. So I'm just going to run this through, and because that holds small enough, it won't pull through, but it'll hold it on nice and tightly. And try and keep it nice and straight as possible. And then you will get your screwdriver, and then just nip it up, and then hold on to it and make sure that's nice and tight. But obviously you don't want to go ape, because you don't want your like crush your wheel or something like that. But that is sturdy. That's not slipping at all. That should be pretty damn good. So there you have it. 2 wheels bodged to perfection. Hopefully they're not too far out. Like I said, they might be a bit far out for if you want to do anything too precise, but we're just spinning that. They look pretty good, and the same with this one. I'm going to aim that towards the camera so I'm not there. So it's not bad, and because you haven't mounted anything, you haven't you haven't mounted anything, like tried to push anything into it. There, it's just straight plastic. So hopefully these should be good for purpose. So anyway, next video hopefully will be it might be a bit of CAD stuff actually, because I've been designing and doing a bit of SketchUp, so I might do that next as well. The wheels are on. I've got speed controllers now have arrived. I've just got to get the battery charger, and then we can hopefully start building it, or at least getting a test bench on the go, because I've already got transmitter, receiver, all that jazz. and then we can see how it goes. So I would say thank you very much for watching. If you enjoyed, please like, comment and subscribe. And that was a vehicle going past, it's very annoying. And I shall see you next time. Ta-ta. Just see you in a bit.
I am the danger.